Games, Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life here. You know what it is. It's 10 things we hate about the Paranormal Activity series. Do go check out the love video, the 10 things we love, as we do have positive things to say about this franchise. But there are also just as many negative things. Well, there are more negative things to fucking say. I started the love. Get us going. Right.
The quantity over quality aspect of the whole story. So I feel like some films are padded, and we've said before a few times.
Yep.
You could condense the story, cut away some of the extra nonsense, and have like a really strong free film trilogy.
Yeah. It's you're putting it very succinctly and straightforward. I'm going to tie it into my first because I'm going to pull out one movie in specifically that didn't need to exist, and it's Paranormal Activity 4. Yeah. It is the worst of the bunch and doesn't need to exist for what it's added to the story, which is in the end about 2 to 5 minutes worth of overarching story. The rest of it is the same shit you've seen before, yet done fucking worse with worse characters. Paranormal Activity 4 is a waste of time. You can skip it and you will not miss anything. Yeah. You won't. Yeah.
So that links nicely into one of my main things in Paranormal Activity 4 was how they're filming so long. So they've got laptops filming for hours and hours. And the laptops they use are old and battered. They're not top spec because they're just household family laptops. They would not have the capacity to film all hours.
The absurdity of it is
just... It's like, you've got to make us believe these things.
Yep.
Like, there's no kind of, we'll change batteries in a normal video camera, or we'll get some video cameras cheap. It's like, no, we'll use our laptops. It's like, no, they're not going to work like that. And it's just really jarring. And
it's more than that as well. They attempt to hide laptops around the house that apparently are just plugged in, running and recording all the fucking time. They can record and have you being recorded on a webcam without you knowing, because her boyfriend or whatever is a computer genius randomly thrown in. It's just awful. One of the worst ways possible. And we said at the time, you know what? If you were struggling for a way to explain it, just copy what number 2 did. Break-in. Just copy it. Just copy it. It'll be infuriating, but it'll be less infuriating. Have a break-in, we install security cameras. Easy as that. Shit, don't even do that. Just have it that they already have security cameras, because they won't suffer the break-in. You know?
Yeah, it's not really jarring.
We're gonna stick with number 4. I've got one more about number 4. And the hunter reveal is, honestly, they act like this is something fucking clever. Yet it is so obvious. And they desperately try to throw you off by having this other kid, the next door neighbour, to be like, oh, that must be Hunter because his mother is Katie and all that. And it's like, but it's so fucking obvious when the first time adoption comes up. And it's like, why are you even pretending? The worst thing about it of all is, the moment the hunter reveal is made, the other kid vanishes from the movie. Just disappears. Never seen again. The fuck are you doing? Utterly absurd. I generally think that they were slapping each other on the back over that one.
Yeah, like, that's so clever.
And it's, honestly, it's so obvious, and so it's just ultimately is that it? And it ends up raising more questions than it answers. You know?
I thought I was done with the Paranormal Activity 4 hate, but I said like the whole creepy kids, something like I don't like in films, and they made them overtly weird. And I'm like, this is so irritating.
Yep. Like
the other kids just play it straight and they're just normal. When they start seeing Toby, that's when things get a bit fucked up. But just overtly creepy kids, I'm like, I don't care. So that's, I think it's my last one. That one.
I'm going to go big here then. Yeah. And it's an obvious one. If you know and seen any other reference to found footage movies, you will see this was coming. I've mentioned when we've done the Blair Witch 10 things and stuff like that, how I blame Paranormal Activity more than I do Blair Witch for the popularisation of the found footage genre. And that is exactly what my next hate is. It popularised the found footage genre in a way that, for me, has fucked up horror for a very long time. We're still not recovered from this. They're no longer as prevalent, and certainly not in the mainstream, thankfully, because they're not making... By the end of Paranormal Activity, for example, the money was dropping in returns for what they were making and stuff like that. And we saw it recently with Blair Witch 2016 that only made like 45 million off a 5 million budget compared to the original Blair Witch. The love isn't there, or the desire from people. But we have gone through over a decade of this, and you still get fucking creators out there thinking they can make the next new Blair Witch, the next new Paranormal Activity, and it's not happening because it's all been fucking done. And it's so bad. And why I say it fucked it up is what it's done is, for a lot of people, and me included, seeing the words found footage and going, I don't even want to watch this film. And just groaning when I realise it's found. When the movie opens and you hear, hi guys, and it's camera, and my heart just sinks. because it automatically puts the film on a back foot. And it's a shame because every so often you'll come across a great found footage movie.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
But it's so rare. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. And I blame Paranormal Activity more than any other.
Yeah, so mine's linked to that. So the way the adverts show idiots reacting in cinema show how scary it was.
Oh, fucking hell. This period was one of the things I hate the most. So obviously, you just said it. This period was to hype it up under trailers. They would add green screen, night vision. So the green look of people, going, and then so often you'd also have people have bits where they come out and they're like, the scariest film I ever watched, like Staying Outside. That turned me off ever seeing these kind of movies. Really hated it. Thank God that got binned as quick as it turned about. I didn't have that. If you want tropes, if you want found footage tropes, watch Paranormal Activity because you're going to get them all here. And what is worse is that as a series, it follows its same tropes again and again and again and again, all the way up to the last film. Even to the point where in the 6th film, they use that stupid tagline, "This time you will see the activity." What the fuck was I watching in the other 5 films? But it still starts the same way. Shakiness, something's moving, it's just tiresome. By the time the series goes on, by number 6, by the Ghost Dimension, you just want, you're out. You're done with this crap. And that's it. It just, there was nothing, they had nothing left in the tank. And their idea was, well, what we'll have to do is just ramp it up to the point where you see this shit now. And that just made it worse.
I had that. I had the repetition of setups and shots can be dull. So it was just, okay, watching this again. Okay, you've done that kind of angle. There must be another way of shooting something creepy happening. So that was my next one.
Absolutely. I praised it in the love. I'm now going to knock it in the hate. The overarching story. Now I praised it in love by saying that I quite like the fact that it had this big world-ending story and tied it into quite a few films, barring number 4. However, when you do hit the marked ones, it does start to get a bit silly. And what I'm specifically referring to is time travel doors?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Time travel doors?
Yeah. I feel like they really wanted that part that we talked in a love video about going back in time. I think they really wanted that.
And maybe try to find a way or an excuse to go back to like Grandma Lois's time when she was younger and all that. But yeah, time travel doors was, I wouldn't be surprised if people who maybe struggle more in horror, like to take it seriously, were like, yeah, that's me. That's it. I'm out. Demons and all that, fine. But now you're talking time travel doors. Yeah, I'm gone. Yeah, that was that's where it got too silly. Yep.
The disbelief angle. There's only so much can be explained away. Sometimes when they're seeing, I think mainly again the 4th. I keep knocking the 4th film, but like when things are being seen, it's like, oh no, you're not seeing. Just the whole not believing things. Oh, it really irritates me. When you see things like, oh no, you're just being silly.
I want to take that and going to change one of mine. I was going to do something about Paranormal Activity too, but I think it's too light for one, so I'm going to change it to this and on that and tie it into one that you made me think of. You triggered a memory of mine. Disbelieving is always an issue. However, this one, the series has a bigger problem, which is, oh yeah, my kid has an imaginary friend, and then that means everything they do or say afterwards dismissed until a point where it gets too serious. I know children have imaginary friends, and I know that happens, but the level that this goes, to the point when your kid is going, yeah, my imaginary friend Toby doesn't like you, he gets mad, he does this and all that, and you're just like, oh you, what does Toby, no. There's one, is it, might be 3, it might be 3, could be 4, well, one of them sits down and goes, oh, don't sit there, Toby's sitting there.
I think that's 3 because I think because he's a step.
That's right. Yeah.
I think because the boyfriend. I mean, but you could partly explain that because that's the boyfriend. He's not the real dad, so he's trying to like humour her a little bit.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is no. But I'm saying we're talking the franchise overall. It just starts to get to the point where you would start. Not saying you'd be like demons, but you might be like, hey man, maybe we want to discourage this behaviour. You know,
it's not normal.
Yeah, discourage it. You know. Yeah.
The stupid fucking dots in Ghost Dimension clearly run out of ideas. The dots. When they see it on camera.
Starts at number 4.
4. Does it?
Yeah, that's number 4. That's number 4's big trick.
Ah.
Yeah, because when you see the little kid and you get the dots in the living room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghost Dimension used it as well, but it was mostly prevalent. In fact, it was part of the front cover of the little boy who is not Hunter, the one that disappears on the front cover with the black eyes and covered in those dots. Yep.
Yeah, just thought that was some shit. just like run out of ideas. But there's so many ideas you can do with found footage. Like go with people's behaviours, what you might see, like what you see every day that kind of might be creepy in the dark, that's not in the light. It's really frustrating.
Well, my next one is about the ghost dimension correctly. Fucking hell, CGI. Oh my god, this is. It's not the worst because number 4 will always take that pride of place, but this is the second worst. And within 10 minutes, you're getting CGI black smoke. It just reminded me of Lost.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Smoke monsters.
And it's creating a figure and it's like all that. And I know it appears in number 4 as well, that CGI thing, but only briefly there. But then later on, when they trap it and they put the sheet over it and they take it off and it's just snarling and CGI, man. Once you've gone down that route, you're done. You're finished. You're out.
Yeah.
We've got... Yeah. Absolutely, I hate it.
My one is, so there's so many missed opportunities to have more on like Toby and like the Nan. So we said before, like you could have had more about the history.
I would have liked that, yeah.
Yeah, gone back a bit more because obviously it would have been even more primitive. So like filming it's a bit more primitive. Not having a whole film of it, but just a little bit more primitive, or like maybe news crew or something. I don't know. Just...
No, you make me laugh because you're saying primitive over and again, and in my head I keep going primitive. But you know what I mean? Like,
have like news footage or something like that, or someone coming around to film part of something and have like a bit more grainy footage.
You know what would have been cool? If they were running out of ideas as well. Do another prequel later on, but go all the way back to Lois and focus on Grandma Lois specifically when she was younger. Particularly by the point we know that Grandma Lois is in this witch's coven and all that. There's nothing to hide anymore. Show us how that came about. Go back. Yeah. You know? Yeah, could have been an interesting idea. Yeah. Marked Ones and its finale. Now the Marked Ones is a good film up to a certain point, but if there's a point where I put my hands up and was just like, that Seinfeld gif. Nope, it was the gun finale. It is absurd. We go get a couple of gang members who have no problem being filmed holding guns, going to shoot a load of old women, and then they actually start shooting, and they shoot a couple of the witches who go flying off like they're on strings. And I fucking hated it. I hated it. I was just like, this is so dumb. Yeah. You have stretched the point of believability to where it's unacceptable. I don't buy it anymore. I'm out. Yeah.
My last one. I don't think I could put one on just for shits and giggles. Like. Oh no. Like there's other horror films I'll be like, okay, I'd watch that again and again. Whereas Paranormal Activity, I'm like, no. Like we did it as a series, and that kind of felt like a series, and it was good to do, but I don't think I just go, let's put Paranormal Activity 2 or 3. I wouldn't, and that's not a sign of a classic for me. No, you certainly couldn't. I mean, at most you might put the first one on, but again, I don't think you just have it on in the background because it's too slow. Yeah, and it's quite slow, and you know it now. Yeah, so it's they're one-trick ponies. Yeah, that's the. How are you out? I've got 2 left. Have I? Yeah, you sure you've definitely done it? While you're looking, I'll do my next one. Got ghosts. Demons, got all of those problems in your house. You know what you got to do, right? Crack out the Ouija board. Oh, no. Nothing drives me more nuts when I dread seeing a Ouija board being pulled out in any film now. And then when it's pulled out in Paranormal Activity and against, your girlfriend's wishes, it's quite strong opinionated about it. I'm just like, fuck that. Yeah, it drives me nuts. It's like, because here's the thing, like the activities. I mean, you can be disbelieving, but shit, man, some of the stuff he's experienced with his girlfriend is enough to make you go, maybe I don't want to fuck around with this sort of thing, you know? Yeah. Okay, I did miss one off. Okay, cool. So how much money it made as a series. Yeah, it's incredible. Like, some of the films with like lack of ideas and people just like gobbling it up and going to the cinemas just because it's part of the franchise going, I have to see the next one. It's like, no, they should have done more with it. But value for money. I think it's value for money there. For us, no, but they certainly made plenty of it. Yeah. And that's it. Simply put, it doesn't matter what a critic or anyone, we can sit here and say, hey, this is shit and it shouldn't have been made and all that. It doesn't matter. If it's an audience that matters. It's the sales, it's your ticket sales, it's your box office receipts. And that's only what it provided. Diminishing over time, but it provided them nonetheless. And my last one, it's not done. We know this, people. There is no way this series is done. This is a franchise that will either continue or, more likely in my opinion, get rebooted. Because I can't see how you can continue this story. No. So what you just do is redo it and start from beginning somewhere else with a different kind of twist in it. And why it's not done is because it's clear what's happening now.
We were getting diminishing results. We'll end it and we'll come back to in the future. Look at every other franchise that has done that. Yeah. In fact, we were due it this year, but it will be next year. We're now due the latest in the Saw franchise, a franchise that apparently ended with the final chapter. Then waited many years till it got a bit nostalgic and then released Jigsaw. That didn't do as well. Waited again. Now we've got some big actors involved in it, called Spiral, the next Saw film. That's what happens. Yeah. You just bide your time until it becomes nostalgia and people forget. And then next thing you know, Paranormal Activity, back. People will be excited for it. That's exactly what fucking happens. Yeah. It's no different to the Conjuring franchise right now.
Yeah.
Like after The Nun, which was successful, but not like massively successful with the Conjuring, again, it's take some time off. Same with Insidious. Yeah. You just take some time off and you revisit later on. Yeah. This franchise is no way. Because even the Ghost Dimension made a ton of money. Yeah. 10 things we hate about the Paranormal Activity franchise. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?